fed with. As he said in the book in Matthew 15:10, he says, be careful of what comes unto you. What has come out of somebody, that is coming unto you. Be watchful of that. That can defile you. You know, like what I'm saying to you here, that can defile you or can make you better. You have to watch for what is being said to you. What is coming out of a man is dangerous and destructive. It's not what comes out of what is coming out of a man is dangerous. Not what comes out of a man that is bad. But what comes out of you, like what you're saying or what others are saying, that is coming into you. So like the food you are eating or something of that nature. But he's trying to tell you, in some sense, what comes out of you, the words you speak, the things that have been spoken out there for you to take. In vice versa, I can be in that situation and somebody also can be in a situation where he put words up to me. You know. So he was being fed. Something has came upon him from men or from wherever it came from. The man is used to signify irony. Is an irony used to signify the object that is sort of producing or giving something out. That is what you have to be careful of. And so in this sense, something came upon him, fed him, inculcated this into his brains, or instilled it in his brains for him to know, and all his life that's what he knew. So that light that came there was his salvation. Make him aware, boom. Because he was doing that time when the meeting go, they see their God, they talk, and they tell them to go and do the evil thing and destroy people's life. He didn't even think that, God is instructing him to do that. So is a Muslim, so is a Christian, so is everybody. Your spirit has instructed you to do what you have to do. You do it. You don't disobey. That is what you believe. But analytically, put things into perspective. Ask yourself questions. It is all spiritual inspiration. He had that spiritual inspiration at that time. So the spirit strike him now. He became aware of himself. The spirit now, I don't know whether the wizard thing departed before he became a pastor, or he sort of now turned that spiritual abilities his God, that's the wizard thing his God, and put it into the church. And now he's blessing people and he's telling people he's saved. He's a repented wizard. And a repented wizard, he can bless people, sanctify people, because now his eyes have seen terrible things. And if he still have the ability hidden in him, who will know? Who will know? Even when he had it, nobody knew. And now if he hasn't got it, how would you know? He's just telling you the words to tell you that believe him. A story. He has some story, then he get it, and you believe him. And fine, maybe he's truly changed. There's no demon in him anymore. And he's not doing any evil anymore. Who knows? But we must always know that we have always been advised from these same books that the devil has got the chameleon-like attitude character. He changes. He manifests anyhow he wants. He changes himself anyhow. And the spirit, the demonic spirit also are like that. They can be in you and you don't know they are there. They can hide themselves in you. They can tame themselves there as long as. Because that is their aim. That is their mission of they do. Evil is something that and he is perfect at it. So no matter what you do, it can keep you in certain mood and you think that, oh yeah, all is well. And the abilities you may be having indirectly is still the same evil using you to continue its work, but in a different format, in a different approach, to still convince the people that it's a smart spirit or a smart thinking spirit that you cannot convince, you cannot underestimate its movements. It's like the aliens or state of being that is more high conscious. The conscious ability to think is very higher than our ways. If we believe that human beings have come as a result of spirit, then we must know that they are more smarter. So in that sense, this guy and what I'm trying to relate here also have gone to a similar spiritual experience. And he knew that was his God. Now he has come to his senses and said that was not God, that was rather Lucifer, that was the devil. Or that is the Lucifer that the Bible presents. Or maybe if you read the Quran, he will say that is the devil that the Quran presented. And he thought that was God. And so now he's aware and he now knows who God is, because he knows that Jesus Christ, who fell there, that was the light was. Because everybody ran, not just him. He says all the great spirits that he has known since his childhood to that time, they all ran, spilled away. So that means there was another power greater than them, and that power was Jesus then. So in the experience that he went through, he's concluding to characterize a light as Jesus. And that makes him say that he knows Jesus or he knows God. And now he's seen that there is a God greater than that spirit that he has believed in them to be God at that time. So he has converted, transformed himself. I won't say convert, I think it's transformation. He's now transformed himself to another level. Because now he knows a God who is even higher than those people. So he's now above those people that he met there that he used to fear. That's what was happening. And so whatever powers he possessed that he used at that time, he's now going to use his witchcraft, whatever, do is that thing, to help people. And sometimes also to harm people. And the people will be there wondering what was happening. What is happening to us? If you are okay and you're obedient, if you go to the shrine the same way, that shrine you go to worship, if you go and bring the egg and do fine things to you, if you do terrible things, that shrine will strike you again. Those who worship rivers, the same thing happens. So the same thing the side of God. If you offend God, Jehovah, even in Jehovah, the book you read the Bible, you see it. If you offend Jehovah, you can't go free, because you have agreed to certain terms and conditions. The Bible is the terms and conditions that you have agreed. If you go against it, it has every right to strike you. If you go and stand before and you swear and make an oath and say that I pledge on my honor to do that and that, to marry this person or to sort of serve this person or to do that, and you go against it, the God or the worship, whether Jehovah or Allah, have every right to strike you. Your problems will come from there, nowhere else. But you also know that you will definitely go wrong, because you have human beings who are bound to be going wrong. It is a must. So knowing this in the first place, you shouldn't even. But when people get caught up in certain situations, sometimes they don't think about the idea of that we can go wrong, or there's that possibility that in the future something will happen. So ignorantly we dig ourselves into this situation. That's where the Quran also comes in, and it tells you that when you have not thought through something, you've not think through something very carefully, and you swear, Allah forgives you. But if you have thought about it, and you swear, Allah will not forgive you. It's also written here in the Quran. I can put it up for you, So there are lots of information that if you read the Quran, you get. And if you read that, you get. But at the end of the day, the whole thing is the mistake. If you read Surah 2, Surah 2, 225, Surah 2, 22, verse 225, you see the part that tells you that if you swear, you have an oath to God and it's not thoughtful, you didn't think about it deeply, Allah forgives you. But if you've thought about it, Allah will not forgive you. So when you read these things, you know that both of them everybody has got the approach and what they stand by and how they do all that they have to do. But you offending your God and thinking somebody else, then it's a problem. When you offend, know that who you have offended is the very person that you went to have an agreement with. That's where your offense has come from. So you deal with that issue, and that becomes what you have to, consider. If you read Mark 6, Mark chapter 6. I want to point out something that is sending them out to Mark chapter 6, verse 7. Mark chapter 6, verse 7 says, of the unbelief, and he called the 12 to himself and began to send them out 2 by 2 and gave them power over unclean spirits.